Hello, Memorial football fans. I'm Charles Strayer.
And I'm Megan Haugen.
And we are proud to present to you week 8 of our Sideline Snapshot series, where we are happy to report on the Abes' first victory of the season over Wisconsin Rapids. And of course, we're going to go into our upcoming matchup with our conference rival Wausau West. So don't miss any of that. Keep on watching and let's get to it.
Talking about that win, a lot of people had some really nice game.
Oh yeah,
a really nice game. Excuse me. Gunlock with 210 yards and really finding Clark in that end zone.
Yeah, that was an amazing play. Gunlock finding Clark, like she said, in the end zone there, right at the end of the first half, which we will get to. Don't worry. And I think on the ground, we were talking about Simmons and like maybe giving him a little bit of a breather, but I was so happy to be proven wrong there. Simmons definitely getting the job done with 3 touchdowns and two two-point conversions.
Which we've had 11 two-point conversions completed, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's definitely something we like to see. It's becoming a very reliable facet of our offense, which that 2-point conversion, obviously that tied it up at the end of the first half and set us ahead 8 points at the end of the game. So in, those closer games, we're definitely going to be looking forward to have that little edge. And I think if we're able to get those 2-point conversions down to a science like it seems like we've been able to these past couple weeks.
Very reliable.
Exactly. That's definitely something that's going to help us out offensively. And on the subject of the run game, though, something that was a little concerning, particularly in the first half, was the inside run was giving us a lot of trouble. Rapids had a very big front, a lot of big guys, so obviously those gaps getting plugged pretty effectively by them. They were able to get some nice yardage there. However,
on the other side, their outside run, we were able to get them down every single time. Well, pretty close.
Yeah, we definitely improved a lot where that outside run was concerned, and somebody who did an excellent job not only covering that, but just in general, was junior Ryan Schultz, who has been doing really well, really having a breakout year here in his junior year.
He had 14 tackles and 6 of those being solo.
Yep, and Gus Chumis, those two tied for having the most total tackles, leading the team. So both of them doing an excellent job, and Schultz in particular making a big stop, helping contribute to a late stop where we really couldn't get anything going defensively in that first half until right at the end. We were down 1 score. It was 8-16. We had to at the very least stop them before the half, just kind of get our bearings. But we took it one step further. Schultz made an excellent tackle for a loss. And from there, we forced them to give it back to us. And inside of 2 minutes, Gunlock was able to put together a masterful scoring drive. And that tempo, that's really the $1 million word. Yeah. And it really all came together. It was just excellent to watch. The defense putting together a big time stop and then scoring quickly, ruthlessly, and efficiently. And we actually had the privilege of getting head coach Westcott for a couple words on the subject of that first half momentum. And let's just take a look at that now and see what he had to say and how that affected the rest of the game.
Coming back to everything coming to fruition, I think there's no better example of that than at the end of that second quarter. We were down, we got a big stop courtesy of our defense, but we had under a minute to make a strike downfield, get it done. So inside of 2 minutes, how did the implementation of tempo that we've been talking about with you, over the past couple of weeks, how did that really help seal the deal and keep the momentum going our way before the half?
I think utilizing this tempo system of our offense, like you said, it paid off here, but it's paying off on a beautiful October night when guys are tired. And, we believe in that system. We got to go fast. We're athletic. We don't have the big size that Wisconsin Rapids is. We want to keep them on their heels a bit. So, it's been a long time coming, but this offense finally started clicking like it should be.
Yeah, absolutely. And down a lot of players, no less, making it work without a lot of guys who would be top targets otherwise.
Thank you once again, Coach Westcott. And honestly, what a good feeling this is. Just to be in the win column is great after all the trials these guys have been through, going down on the road being down in a lot, in some pretty contentious situations in that game, but ultimately getting the job done. Now, Rapids is by no means the hardest team that we've faced, but just to be able to come back, to deal with that adversity, and to, really work on what we've been trying so hard to implement successfully and getting it done to fidelity, it was just great to see. And, fireworks and the whole thing to go off afterwards. They were very accommodating there at Rapids, so it was just a great feeling to get that win, to see everybody do so well, and just to get it all done.
Something that was really impressive to me was our momentum, how we were down in the first half, came back, and then came back even stronger in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. Just being able to, come back punching them in the mouth, that sort of thing. It's something that we've been kind of struggling with is, how do we build upon, especially when we're down, how do we build upon what we're doing well, and how do we adjust in the second half? I think that's something we did rather well this time around, and that was great to see.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah, and I think something else that we kind of mentioned that last week, but turnovers also worth a small shout out here because, like we said last week, very fumble prone, and our ability to take advantage, not only to, recover those fumbles, but to turn them into points, to put together good drives. That was also something that's just worthy of note here before we move on.
Looking ahead to our game this Friday against Wausau West at Carson Park, something that I feel like we're really going to have to look out for is penalties. I mean, we've had 54, and that's cost us a total of 432 yards. And with Wausau West, they've had 30, and that's cost them 308 yards. And that's just something that we're going to have to be disciplined and looking out for.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, discipline is definitely the name of the game there. We're seeing that a lot with teams and penalties this season, where the disparity between our opponent's penalty yards and our own is really a difference maker, especially in those first halves when it is close. The games that have started to get away from us have definitely been hindered by those penalties because, we're simply giving them too many yards that we can't afford to give them. And on offense, we're setting ourselves back where we can't work the run game like we want to because we got to go for, a big yardage play. We want to go to the air. Obviously, if you're in those second and long, third and long situations because of penalties, that's an avoidable circumstance. So I think, discipline, especially getting later in the season, teams definitely looking a lot more polished. I think we've got to follow suit, and we're well on our way there.
Something we're going to have to look out for is the inside run, and if we can try our best to force them to the outside, because that's where we tend to do best.
Yeah, agreed, especially looking at the game against Rapids. We definitely want them to be going to the outside run more, so limiting their ability to push the gaps in the center, that's definitely going to be something where, if not done correctly, it could be kind of disastrous for us because at the moment, we're currently allowing 306.1 yards on the ground per game.
That's insane.
And that's far and away from Wausau West, who's more in the ballpark of allowing 150 rushing yards a game. So being able, and I think that, obviously we're not going to be able to stop them from going to the ground at obviously high school football, but we're going to want to force them into the areas where we have the advantage, and I think those areas are where the outside run coverage is concerned and where the secondary is concerned. So I think defensively that is going to be our big focus. And then obviously continuing to find a way to make things work amidst all the injuries. Julius Clark, Bryce Headkey, Nathan Arndorfer getting a lot more playing time. Those guys definitely looking to continue what has already been a pretty impressive showing despite all of those absences in the wide receiver room. So I think offensively we're definitely set. We just kind of need to keep doing what we were doing last week, So all in all, I think this is a great opportunity to really show how far we've come,
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think the crowd obviously going to be big. The marching band will be performing again. So all those things coming together. So we were able to get our last road win in the win column. So I think it's time to get one at home, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's all we've got for you this week. Of course, we'll be there on Friday, so don't miss any content from us. As always, go Abes.
Hi everybody, I'm Aidan Rickert, Eagle Eyes, Other Guy. If you're interested in more MHS sports content, be sure to check out our TikTok, Instagram, and check out some of the other videos on our YouTube channel. And while you're at it, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more. Go Abes!